All right there. Hey, another week we're back. It's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, Woman Broadcast TV Network, WomenOnTV.tv, and iTunes 247 out of Tennessee. And guess what? Back is my old friend, Katerina Cozias. Hello there. How you doing?
Woo! Still in quarantine.
I know, aren't we all? So on our last show, we were talking about stuff. So through your friends, I got my little gift thing.
Yes.
I got my little travel thing for guys, which was cool.
Right.
Let's start off talking about them, and then we'll go to you, what you do, because we got to get you back in motion doing stuff of what you do best.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, for those of you that maybe missed our last show, we had the founder, billion-dollar empire builder, Joni of SeneGence, who was on the show. She basically started a network marketing company out of her basement when she was a single mom with a kid. And we had interviewed her a few weeks back now, Brian. I'm so excited to see that her team sent you a package of their products. And I love that they're going into a men's line. So actually what I want to know, because we know women love makeup and we know women love getting pretty, but you know, as a man, you know, how important is manscaping to you?
Well, for me, it's one of those things where I have to look better now. Before, I just didn't care. Because for me, it was about the work. But as we go out and as our profiles go up, you know, you get a clothing line. Well, I have one. Another guy coming who's giving us more stuff. And then you start to get, you know, watches. I'm not a jewelry guy. I don't have tattoos. I'm not married. Neither do I have any kids. So all of a sudden, I'm getting all these nice little things that the average person would like to have. So the more you start putting these things into our profile, into our brand, your profile starts to go up. And because of that show that we did, we got a lot of views from that. I don't know if you knew that. And it keeps going on like LinkedIn and on the YouTube, and it's doing well. And then I put it, the only place I didn't put it was on Sportamix, but I'm thinking I got to start asking sports questions to people because it's 8 platforms. And as you would say, the average person has what, 8 seconds now? I think it's 6 now because everybody's quarantined. But using all the stuff, I really like it on my skin because when I do shave, I can't stand a beard. It's like itchy to me. So they gave me a moisturizer. It really works. It's very soothing, and I like that. And plus, it smells good.
Well, you know what? I love that guys are, I almost consider it more masculine for a guy to want to take care of his skin and take care of his, you know, his physique and his overall appearance. I think nowadays, a masculine man can also embrace the side of him that is a little bit more requiring maybe some self-love. I think that's actually super masculine, and I think that's part of the paradigm change. So, you know, when I see people like Joni expanding into a men's line, and I see masculine men like you actually appreciating having some good product that you can use, I think that's awesome. So, you know, time to embrace that, absolutely.
Well, the other thing is I want to try the hand sanitizer. I'm going to reach out to your friend Melinda on that because I want to try that because after all, she created, and I think it's great that a woman created a hand sanitizer that it can be fully used right now. And then the other thing is I've always had soft skin. I mean, I didn't know I had soft skin, but women always told me that. She goes, "Oh, your skin is like a baby's." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You go, "You're soft, don't you know that?" I'm like, "No, I don't know that." But I do. I keep my, I don't abuse my body. I do the best that I can as a single black male, but you know, it does come in handy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So how are you keeping with the rest of this quarantine other than getting all your fun free gifts?
Hey, we're 50,000 views away from 1 million on YouTube. I can get there within the next week and a half. We did a show 3 days ago with 2 of the girls, one from British Columbia, Kelly Nelson, and then the other one that you met. Remember the lady that gave us a ride in Tennessee, Jessica?
Oh yeah, of course.
In 2 days, it went from 93 views. An hour and a half later, it went to 163 views. 3 hours later, it went to 500 views. The next night at 3 o'clock in the morning, it was at 1,500 views. And then I looked an hour later, and it was at 2,600 views. And I was like,
"That's awesome,
right?" And I didn't even want to do the show. I did it on Sunday, Katerina. I was, you know how you just don't want to do it, but you got to do your best. I'm like, I got to do this show. It was her first time doing it. She was in Maxim, and all of a sudden, and the numbers are still, it's at 2,700 views and counting.
which is amazing, you know.
It's only 4 days ago. Now I put it on the same platforms I've been doing it, but all the shows that we've been doing, I've done 50 shows in the last 3.5 weeks. 2 shows a day. I've got 3 today. I've got 3 tomorrow. I've got 2 Saturday. Sunday, I've got 1. And then I'm going to go up to the following Sunday, and then I can call it quits.
Right. That's so awesome.
Views. And then the show that we did out of Tennessee, it's 850,000 plus views. I'm going to work that one to get it to the next 50,000 views to get to 900,000.
Well, you know what? That's because the team here at Movie Reviews and More is amazing. And we have amazing conversations.
No, we do.
No, but I love that you got Jess on the phone or not on the phone. Well, it's so okay. So taking that back a step, look at that little slip. You and I are of a generation that remembers when there was a physical phone on the wall and you had to pull it down and it had a cord.
With the long phone cord that you could wrap around.
Yeah. Okay, so people that are 20 years under us basically remember having cordless phones, right? Or cell phones. Well, I've got 2 little nephews. The youngest one is 3. And his version of a phone is a video conferencing. So he'll say to me, like, I can't see you, because he's in Europe, so he's got this little accent. And I'm just like, wow, so our version of, like, when I just said you got her on the phone, it was like, well, actually, we're doing an interactive digital interview, but it also works as a phone. So it's just really interesting how technology is advancing, and what the different generations recognize as their source of communication and how that's changing.
Well, the other thing about that is because of everything's been going up, we went up 7,000, literally 7,000 yesterday. And I'm double checking the numbers because I do it once a day. And I'm like, what? And then, today it was 3,000. So, and we have 6 different numbers. And I'm like, okay, this went up 2,000. This went up 3. This one only went up 1,000, but it's going up. And then
you know what it is?
Chime in more. So now we have more and more celebrities. Like after the show that I'm doing with you, I have Bai Ling, the Chinese actress, on. And Bai's
amazing.
And then she's talking about what it's like to come over from China, come back from Russia, go to Dubai, and then being quarantined for a couple of days. And she's U.S. She has dual citizenship. It was really interesting. And then, we got we got Sinbad coming up. We got Snoop Dogg coming up. We got Jack, who you met in Tennessee, on Segway coming up. We got a lot of people coming up, and I couldn't be happier. And then we got some surprise, really top left celebrities who've been quarantined. I can't wait to hear what they got to say.
Well, and you know what I love about that right now, Brian, is because everyone's home, everyone's on the net. Everyone's searching for videos. Everyone's looking for an interesting conversation. And, if anyone has interesting conversations, it's you and your platform. So I love that.
Yeah, and your hair looks beautiful. What have you been doing to it?
Thanks. It's so funny because, again, ladies at home, you'll appreciate this, right? We're sort of stuck here without a lot of options for product. So I've actually been putting olive oil, listen to this tip, girls, olive oil on the tips. My hair has never been softer. And I mean, how many of us have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on hair product? I literally, before I go to bed at night, I dab a little olive oil onto my ends. And I'm like in this fluffy, pretty hair world. So thank you for noticing.
Yeah, olive oil, mayonnaise, going back to the basics, they still work,
Eggs, bananas. Yeah, I had a girlfriend of mine send me a facial recipe, and it was honey, bananas, and eggs. And you whip it up, and you put it on your face for 20 minutes, and then you wash it off. And apparently, you've got beautiful skin. I haven't done it yet, but I plan to. So
it does work. It's and again, how do I know this? From being around a lot of women from around the world. Stay in my apartment. I might be gone for a couple of days. I come back and I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's olive oil mixed with mayonnaise. And I'm like, what are you doing with it? Putting it on my hair, putting it on my skin, putting it on my face. I'm like, wow, it does work.
It does work, yeah. And the thing is, especially right now, again, where everyone's home and everyone's quarantining, I think it's a perfect time that we can just play with alternatives, going back to, hey, what's actually just in the fridge? What can I entertain my 12-year-old with, for a couple of hours? Let's get creative. And I think a lot of people are doing that. So it's, again, it's a really interesting time. Going back to Mei Ling, I can't imagine being quarantined in a different country. You're not even home. At least we're home. And you imagine if you're not even home. Ay.
And if you know about Bai Ling, Bai only wears one thing once, and she has all her costumes specially made from When I took it to the Hollywood Film Festival in 2015, there was a movie that I chose called The Key. It had her and my friend David Arquette in it. And what happened, she came to the festival and I was going to interview her and David Arquette and Jeff Levy, the director. And what happened, she came wearing a Hollywood and then sign where her crotch is. That was it. So if you go to 2015 Hollywood Film Festival, it's green. It says Hollywood, sign, nothing else. And we had the Prime Minister of China there. And again, a lot of people buying. Some of the traditional Chinese don't like her because she's a free. So we had to make sure that we didn't take pictures of everybody. And you know, she's really friendly. She ends up next to the Prime Minister's wife. And then I can't tell you what the Prime Minister's wife said because it's not good. However, she made the festival because the photos went around the world. And then there's another one where she has an actual dragon, where she's stepping out with a dragon's tail. That was her costume.
It must have been beautiful.
It was gorgeous. So that's what Bai is like. She's very smart, very friendly. And her first film that she did was called Red Corner with Richard Gere. Again, Richard practiced Buddhism, I practiced Buddhism, so we had always connected that way. So it's good with this quarantine. I've been able to connect with a lot of my celebrity friends where in the old days, we weren't really supposed to. We weren't supposed to take photos. We weren't supposed to ask for, an email then or with their phone number. It was frowned upon. Now, because of our numbers, Katerina, I can do anything that we want to benefit to help everybody. And that's really, really satisfying.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I think the key right now, Brian, because so many people are, transitioning into this new world, if you will, that we're in, and wanting to understand, how do I get exposure for my business? How do I get my message heard? How do I get my products, my services, my lifestyle in a place where, distribution is important? And when you see ginormous companies like AMC, which is one of the biggest national movie theater chains in the country, going bankrupt, and you see numbers like ours that are hitting 4 million plus views, you got to really recognize that the old bricks and mortar is dying, and you want to align with people that have the distribution channels, and that's exactly what you're offering. So, again, small little plug here, but for anyone that has a home business, for anyone that has a product, for anyone that's, making these and wants to sell them, please reach out to us, because we have massive eyeballs on the work that we do, distributed not only nationally, but internationally. And the people that are, using our platforms for promotional purposes are seeing results. And that's what I love. That's what you and I are here to do. We're here to help people.
Well, and as you're talking, I'm getting everybody's texting me. So the restroom kit, Bill's like, hey, when can we be on the show? Because they're helping the first responders now around the country.
I've got 2 of them in my purse at all time, by the way.
The
restroom kit, folks, and it's awesome. It's, it fits literally in your pocket if you're a guy, or in your purse if you're a girl. And inside you've got a little bit of tissue, a little toilet paper covering. Now they're working on, you were telling me last time, hand sanitizer. Is that right? Do I remember that correctly? Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So cool stuff. And these guys have been with us for a while.
And then, you and I both have our signs from Daryl and Larry. So those shows that I found out, once they've been on the shows, they've been getting massive hits and massive views and massive business because they've been sharing the shows, but also people have been seeing that they've been aligned with us. And then what's good that of what you do also.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at that amazing sign you have. That's, like you said, our friends Linda and Daryl, who have become friends over at Unique LED Products, uniqueledproducts.com. Jump over there for the coolest gifts you can make someone. You can get their name in lights. My name's in lights. I love it.
Yeah, and these are your colors that they made for you too.
Yeah, they took the branding right off of my website. They used it in my logo. I mean, I've got a beautiful, beautiful plaque, really similar to yours. Yours is Movie Reviews and More. Mine is Katerina Cozias, and it's amazing.
So with that, talk about what you do, why people need to reach out to you, because I've been talking to a lot of people in the sports world, and what they all want to do. They're all playing games right now. So I'm reaching out to the gamers. What they really need to do is they need to reach out to you because they need your experience on what to do, the how, what to do, what not to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. So folks, for those of you that may be new to me, like Brian said, my name is Katerina. I'm here. I'm a host with him on Movie Reviews and More. And I'm also a professional media trainer, on camera, television host, and also have a strategic media development company where we actually really design your exposure plan. So number one, like I said, if you have a product or service, you want to get it out to the world. Do you do TV? Do you do radio? Do you do print? Do you do social media? What do you do, right? And that answer is not the same for everyone. But more importantly, irrespective of whether you have a business, if you want to just get your voice heard, guess what, Brian? Everyone's on video right now. Everyone's on video, but not everyone knows how to do video, right? What's your posture? What's your stance? Where do you angle the camera? How do you do the lighting? There's a lot of that going on. So if you're in the sports world and you want to get a little bit more active, you know, blogs are dead, right? I mean, I'm a reader. I love blogs, but no one else does. But vlogs, right? Video blogs, where you can jump on your Instagram for a minute and shoot something. Why not have that minute be as powerful as possible, right? What's your articulation, your tone, your tonality, your body language, right? All of that comes into play with the subconscious processing of the viewer. So if you're out there just shooting video without the right instruction, you're kind of putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So if you're wanting to really, really amplify your media presence, and more importantly, your video communication, interaction, and really at the end of the day, folks, the transition to dollar signs at the end of the day, because it's one thing to spend your time doing a video, and it's another thing to spend your time doing a video that's going to monetize, because people are going to buy your book, buy your product, follow your newsletter, whatever you want them to do. How do you make that trigger happen so that they actually take that call to action and act on it? That's when you call me.
That's right, and you have to call her. All right, what's your website?
Yeah, so website's super easy. It's just my name, and my name is unique enough, so you're not going to find two of me anywhere else in the world. My grandmother was my same name, even my same last name, but she died. So it's KaterinaCozias.com. Just reach out to me at KaterinaCozias.com, and I'll spell it slowly in case anyone wants to pick up their phone. I would have said pick up a pen, but no one does that anymore. So pick up your phone.
I do.
Do you? I usually have a pen handy. It's Katerina, so my first name, Katerina, and then all one word, C as in cat, O, Z for zebra, IAS. KaterinaCozias.com, or any of my social media. It's all just my name, guys. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever you want. Katerina Cozias, shoot me a note. I would love to have a conversation with you, because this is what I do. I've been doing it internationally for 15 years, Brian, and now you and I get to play and have some fun, make money, help some people. Like, what an awesome time.
Talk about, I know you miss speaking, talk about why you're good at that. And where do you see that world going now? Because there's a lot of people that are clueless who are in the speaking, they don't know what to do. And it just blows my mind that they haven't been able to adapt, to adjust, and just be flexible.
You know, for anyone that is a public speaker or has been even an attendee at a seminar, at a conference, you'll have really noticed a shift, especially the last 24 months. So speaking used to be, you'd pay, $100, $200, $1,000 to go see one headliner on a stage for a half a day, a full day. And then as the onset of social media started happening, and people had more access to these people, because instead of having to go to an event and pay $500 to see XYZ author, you could just jump on YouTube and see them for free, right? So what has happened in the last 24 months, this is all pre-COVID-19, okay, so let's say up to about January, is you started having these multi-speaker events. And those were awesome, because all of a sudden you pay that $500 for your ticket, but you get 12 speakers, right? Okay, so that was cool, and people were into that for a little bit. But what's happened now with COVID-19 is, of course, no events, right? Nothing live is happening anymore. And so everyone that has been in the speaker world is literally having to completely change the way they're doing business, because you can't just fly to Vegas and hold a conference right now. Right. So a lot of what's happening is you're seeing these online summits, right? Online conferences, online this, online that. The thing that I'm cautioning people about there, Brian, is there's so much going on online now, and it's like, do I really want to sit there for 2.5 days in front of my computer to listen to all these speakers? Like, I don't. I don't. And so if you're a public speaker, if you're somebody out there who is considered an expert in your field, okay, because remember, for you to get up on a stage, you have to be up there with something to say, whether that's, you know, talking about biotech, whether that's talking about face creams, whether that's talking about spirituality. I don't know what your expertise is, but the on-stage live events thing for now and for the foreseeable future is complete on lockdown, right? The online platforms are a little bit tiring. So again,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of my peers asking themselves, what can I do to stay relevant? How can I keep my voice alive when all of a sudden everyone's on the internet sharing their voice? And that's where I go back to, do you have the professional counsel and the professional training that is going to allow you to elevate past the rest of the internet noise? That's what's going to distinguish the people that are actually going to thrive in this environment, Brian, is can you effectively articulate your message when the average American has an 8-second attention span?
Yep.
It's insane. And it's a lot for everybody.
Well, here's the thing. And I was telling people 2 years ago, film festivals were dead because I used to help run one and I had to pick the films. So I in 2015, what was going to happen? I'm like, if you got a great name, Hollywood, wait outside in the US, but the name didn't transfer into the US because you could be spoiled being in Hollywood. What do you do? Do different things. So that's why we were the first to reach out to China at that point. I brought Alibaba in by accident and I didn't even know it was them. I had no idea.
Alibaba, yeah.
My friend said, Ryan, do you know what you did? I'm like, no, you bought us Alibaba. You bought us China. So with that, we had 85 million viewers on our impressions for China Daily, the English version. Imagine that. That's 2015. So that's when I knew when everything is going to go. So I don't want to watch I have to find films on links online all the time. Anyhow, do I want to watch all these films that are most of them are bad? It's bad enough my eyesight is going blind on all these bad movies already. The answer is no, what you just said. You don't want to see these speakers on. I don't want to see all these movies online. I don't.
No. And that's why we just, it's a really interesting transition again, globally. But if you're watching this and you happen to be, let's say, in Croatia, and you're wondering, how do I tap the American market? This is how. Brian literally, back in 2015, identified Alibaba before they became a thing. And for those of you who are still maybe a little bit in the dark, that's the Chinese equivalent of Amazon that actually dwarfs Amazon in terms of size and distribution globally.
And Google. They're bigger than Google. But a lot of people in the US still don't know about them.
Still don't know, And so if you've got a business and you wanted to get that American market, please, again, reach out to us, because we have not only the distribution network, but we have years of combined experience and contacts in Hollywood, in the Hollywood space, and in the entertainment business, which is changing like nobody's business. And if you want to know how to ride that wave, we've got that, that advice for you. So yeah, I just, again, I love what we do. I love being plugged in, and I kind of love seeing how this new 2020 decade is being ushered in. Remember New Year's Eve, everyone's talking about the year of clarity and 2020 vision, and like 6 weeks later, the world's on lockdown.
Yeah, I can tell you, I was supposed to be in San Diego with a friend of mine, Katerina, and I chose to stay in Vegas. I was working while everybody was out having fun, because I knew I only had so much time to get all this stuff done of where we are now. This is what I was doing then. I am so tired right now. I only get a chance to put out on my Segway, zoom around the 50 blocks just to get air and clarity. I'm like, oh, I got to go and call this person. Oh, I got to check on this person. I got to email this person, because business for us has not stopped. It just hasn't. So when it goes to even writing books, I'm not that book writer. That's her job. So when you reach out to stuff, Katerina, talking about your book and why it's important, even reading is really essential now.
Yeah, so I have co-authored a book, and actually the next episode we're doing together, we're bringing in our co-author, wonderful woman out of Portugal. So again, keeping things international for everyone. Danielle Martins, she and I wrote a book a few years ago called Rising Up from Mental Slavery, How to Unleash Your Infinite Potential. Because guys, You know, if you've not taken this time while we're in lockdown, while we're in quarantine, to really go deep into your internal self and recognize that success doesn't come from outside. Success is an internal game. And a lot of what is blocking people is their own limiting mindset. You know, we voluntarily place ourselves into mental slavery by allowing things like doubt, things like shame, things like self-judgment to overpower the, you know, the more productive voices, if you will, that are talking to you about creativity and inspiration and collaboration. And so the book we wrote was really a little introduction on how do you move yourself into the personal development world so that you can unshackle the mental negative barricades that you're putting on yourself in order to really unleash your infinite potential. So that's what I love. Part of what I do, Brian, is aside from the media consultation, we have a whole division around media mindset. And the idea there is if you don't believe that you're worthy of having a voice, you're worthy of that exposure, even if I get you on CNN or the Today Show, you're not going to shine because your internal being won't allow that. So let's break that open first. Let's get over the mental slavery that you put yourself in, and then let's get you onto those platforms so that your business can explode.
Well, and that's the thing about that too, because for me, it's hard to get up every day and do this. I love what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. Same time, you'll have those little self-doubts sometimes, and then you get pleasantly surprised. Because of all the work, I believe in cause and effect, truly. So even thoughts, everything that you think of, whether it's good or bad, manifests. So you do best to think of everything that's positive, everything that is good. And it is so difficult to do right now, but you just have to still learn to change your thinking around. Not easy, but it is easy.
It's a choice, Brian. You know, do you choose to live and create your own suffering? Or do you choose to say, okay, I hear you, little voice of fear, and I acknowledge that you're there, and I'm going to tell you to sit in the back seat while I go live my life. And the more of us that can transition and move forward and actually share our gifts, share our talents, share our voices, you know, we raise the consciousness, the vibration of the planet, and that allows for more inspired thought, which allows for more expansion. Like it's just a cyclical cycle. And right now there's so much fear mongering happening with mainstream media, with the vaccines, with 5G, with the coronavirus, with your neighbor dying. When the reality is, this is a really amazing opportunity to stay home, get connected to your family, get connected to yourself, get connected to spirit, and allow yourself to listen for the next best move. You know, Oprah says, allow yourself to flow. You know, we're locked down right now. Don't resist it, embrace it, and really, you know, you can work your way through that. So definitely tune in with Brian and I and Danielle on our next episode when we shoot that, Brian, because it's going to be an awesome conversation.
That'll be fun to do. She's always liked the stuff that that we have been doing, and I haven't met her yet, but I like her. I already know I like her energy as a person. And the more I see about her, I'm like, wow, she's really interesting. So that's why I always go back to the book that you guys wrote, because again, I'm not going to talk about something if I don't like it. It is relevant, especially what we're going through right now.
Thank you. Yeah, Rising Up from Mental Slavery. We're on Amazon, and it's Katerina Cozias and Danielle Martins.
So we got a couple minutes left. Are you writing anything right now? What have you been?
You know, I've been keeping a little under the radar. You know, I've got a roster full of clients, which is awesome, because again, people are really recognizing that now is the time to brush up on your media skills to get yourself out there. So I've been busy. I've also just been taking a little bit of a pause off of social media, to be honest with you. I just found myself really getting distracted by what other people's opinions were, what other people were doing, what other people were trying to show off. And I just was like, you know what, I need to just rein this in and focus here right now. So if you do jump over to my social media, you'll see it's a little bit light, which is actually the opposite I tell most of my clients. At the same time, you know, my bigger advice is listen to your heart, listen to yourself. If you need to take a break and pull the energy in order to transmute it so that it can go out, then listen to that as well. You know, if someone's
But I I welcome that, and normally
Yeah.
I would be against it, but I'll tell you why. Because you're supposed to do it for a certain reason, and it made sense on the reasoning that you did that, and I got
Yeah.
that, and it makes sense to other people that they just disappear. Where'd they go? Are they still alive? And the thing is, they just gave up. No, you chose to do it for a specific reason. It's not like you're not going to go back. You're just doing different things, and I understand that.
Well, and I can feel it, Brian. I mean, my battery is back up at like 85, 90%. Like I am full on energy and I am ready to just go hard on things now. And I needed to listen to myself when it said, you know, you're a little bit tired. You've been playing this game for so many years. You got to take a bit of a break. And I put my focus in a lot of my clients, my bigger, I guess my bigger intention is to use my talents to help their talents really go out and change the world. And so, when we build a collective team of amazing people, which we have, I think it's really, it really makes it fun and it really makes it powerful. And that's why I love, even when you and I have these sessions, just the two of us, we don't have a guest on that we're interviewing. It's just an awesome conversation. It just flows. And I think it's valuable information for whoever happens to be watching us. So thanks for tuning in.
Well, it's that ebb and flow of everything. So I'm gonna let you end this. So I'm gonna say, hey, I'm Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, WomenOnTV.tv, IT247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, and I never ask anybody to subscribe, but we're doing so well now, I just don't care. But the thing is, there's a reason I want you to subscribe. There's a lot of great information there. That's for one. It's not about me. It's about the people that we have on. It's not Brian Sebastian. It's called Movie Reviews and More. And the more part is the most important thing. Will it save your life? Absolutely, it will save your life because we got a lot of people dying. And it's not a good time right now. However, we do have a lot of good things that are positive. And so you can go to theartofmontague.com, www.theartofmontague.com, and you'll see all the great things that we have coming up. And then, Katerina, I'm going to let you end this with what you have coming up and your book, since you're America's media mindset mentor. I leave it to the woman to end on a positive note.
Awesome. So first of all, thanks for having me back, Brian. I always love these sessions. As Brian said, we don't want to ask you to subscribe, but subscribe because then you get to hang out with us and we have a lot of fun over here. For my personal channel, again, KaterinaCozias.com, just my name in full.com. You can also catch me with LA Talk Radio when we're back in studio, because right now there's no live studio sessions. And I host a program called LA 40 Life After 40, which is an awesome show to tune into. And of course, my book, Rising Up from Mental Slavery. So if you're looking to get your voice heard, if you want to work on your media mindset and or just your media exposure, then hit us up, hit me up personally, and let's have a chat. So thanks for tuning in. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned with us because we got a lot of good stuff going on.
And then with that, we will see you next week. So for Katerina and myself, we will see you next week.